Guys, if you've been watching my videos, you know I focus on one thing: techniques you can do at home, using objects you already own, without exhausting yourself or spending money on equipment. No gym memberships, no expensive devices, no complicated protocols that take an hour of your day. Just everyday objects, things sitting in your house right now, used in ways most men never discover. And today, I'm doing something different. Instead of showing you one object and one technique, I'm combining 3 objects from the same room in your house. 3 things you probably used this morning without realizing each one can directly improve blood flow to your penis. Here's why this matters. Most erectile dysfunction treatments focus on one mechanism. Pills increase nitric oxide. Pumps create temporary vacuum pressure. Supplements try to boost testosterone. But your erections depend on multiple systems working together. You need strong circulation to bring blood in. You need a calm nervous system to allow arousal. And you need open nerve pathways so your brain's signals actually reach your penis. One mechanism alone isn't enough. You need all 3 firing correctly. That's exactly what these 3 objects do. Each one targets a different system, and when you use them together, just a few minutes a day, they create a compounding effect that's more powerful than any single technique. This is what I call the synergy principle. When you address multiple systems simultaneously, the results multiply rather than simply add together. A technique that improves circulation by 20% combined with a technique that improves nerve function by 20% doesn't give you 40% improvement. It can give you 50% or even 60% improvement because the systems support each other. Better circulation means your nerves get more oxygen. Better nerve function means your blood vessels respond more quickly to signals. Everything works together. Object 1 improves circulation through a combination of cold therapy and reflexology. It creates a vascular pumping effect that drives oxygenated blood into your pelvic region. This addresses the fundamental requirement of any erection: adequate blood supply. Object 2 activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the system responsible for erections. It shifts your body out of stress mode and into relaxation mode, which is the only state where strong erections are even possible. Without parasympathetic activation, your body is simply unable to redirect blood flow to your penis, no matter how healthy your cardiovascular system might be. Object 3 decompresses the nerves that control erectile signals. Most men sit for hours every day compressing these nerves without realizing it. This object reverses that compression and restores full nerve function. These are the nerves that carry the signals from your brain that say, "Get hard now." And if they're compressed, those signals arrive weak and delayed. 3 objects, 3 mechanisms: circulation, nervous system, nerve pathways. And the best part? You don't need to go shopping. You don't need to order anything online. Walk into your kitchen right now and you already have everything you need. I'm Dr. Elena, and in the next few minutes, I'm showing you exactly how to use 3 common kitchen objects to restore hardness, and why this combination works better than using any single technique alone. Drop a comment below. What city and country are you watching from? Seeing support from around the world motivates me to keep creating these videos. I've had comments from men in over 50 countries, and it never stops amazing me how universal these concerns are. Men everywhere are dealing with the same challenges, and men everywhere deserve access to simple, effective solutions. Now hit subscribe. Let's get into the 3 objects and how to use them. Take a standard plastic water bottle, fill it with water, and put it in your freezer for at least 2 hours. You want it completely frozen solid. The ice should be hard throughout, not slushy or partially frozen. A standard 500 ml or 16-ounce bottle works perfectly for this purpose. Now here's what most men don't know. The arch of your foot contains reflexology points that connect directly to your liver meridian. In traditional Chinese medicine and modern reflexology studies, stimulating this area improves circulation throughout your pelvic region, including blood flow to your penis. This isn't just ancient wisdom. Modern research has validated the connection between foot stimulation and pelvic blood flow. A study published in the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine found that foot reflexology significantly increased blood flow to the lower abdominal region. The mechanisms aren't fully understood, but the results have been replicated multiple times. But we're not just using reflexology. We're adding cold therapy. Cold creates vasoconstriction. Your blood vessels tighten in response to the cold temperature. This is your body's natural protective mechanism, reducing blood flow to extremities to preserve core temperature. Then when you remove the cold, your body rebounds with vasodilation. Your blood vessels open wider than before, wider than they were at baseline. This is called reactive hyperemia, and it's a well-documented physiological phenomenon. This pumping effect, constriction followed by dilation, drives fresh oxygenated blood into your pelvis. It's like priming a pump. The constriction builds pressure, and then the dilation releases it, pushing blood into areas that may have been underperfused. Here's the exact technique. Sit in a kitchen chair with good posture. Place the frozen water bottle on the floor in front of you. Put your bare foot on top of it, right in the arch, that curve between your heel and the ball of your foot. This is where the reflexology points are most concentrated. Now roll your foot back and forth over the bottle. Slow, firm pressure. Don't rush this. The movement should be deliberate, covering the entire arch from heel to ball. You should feel the cold and the pressure combined. It might be intense at first. That's normal. Your foot will adapt within 10 to 15 seconds as the cold receptors in your skin become accustomed to the temperature. Roll for 60 seconds on one foot, then switch to the other foot for another 60 seconds. The total time is only 2 minutes, but the effects can last for hours. What you're doing is stimulating the liver meridian reflexology point while simultaneously triggering vascular pumping with the cold. The result? Increased circulation to your pelvic organs, better blood flow to erectile tissue, and improved responsiveness during arousal. Do this once a day, morning or evening, doesn't matter. Some men prefer morning because it energizes them for the day. Others prefer evening because it enhances their responsiveness for nighttime intimacy. Experiment and find what works best for your schedule. Most men notice better morning firmness within the first week. This is often the first sign that circulation is improving. Morning erections are largely driven by healthy blood flow during REM sleep. So when men report stronger morning erections, it's a reliable indicator that the technique is working. This one sounds even stranger than the first, but the science is solid. In fact, this technique is based on principles that are now being used in cutting-edge medical devices for treating anxiety, depression, and autonomic nervous system disorders. Take a metal spoon. Stainless steel works best because it conducts cold efficiently, and put it in your freezer for 5 to 10 minutes. You don't need it frozen solid like the water bottle. Just cold enough that when you touch it to your skin, you feel an immediate chill. If you leave it in too long and it becomes painfully cold, just let it warm up for a minute before using it. Now here's what you're targeting: the vagus nerve. This is one of the longest nerves in your body, running from your brainstem down through your chest and into your abdomen. It's called the wandering nerve because of how extensively it travels throughout your body, connecting your brain to nearly every major organ system. The vagus nerve controls your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system, which is also the system responsible for erections. This is absolutely critical to understand. Erections are a parasympathetic function. They can only occur when your body is in a relaxed, safe state. Your body needs to believe that it's okay to redirect blood flow away from muscles and toward reproductive organs. When you're stressed, anxious, or in fight or flight mode, your sympathetic nervous system dominates. This is the opposite of the parasympathetic system. Blood flow is diverted away from your penis and into your muscles. Your heart rate increases. Your breathing becomes shallow. Your body prepares for action, for running or fighting. You can't get hard because your body thinks you're in danger. From an evolutionary perspective, this makes perfect sense. Sexual activity requires vulnerability. Your ancient ancestors couldn't afford to be vulnerable when a predator was nearby. So the body developed this automatic system that suppresses sexual function during times of stress. The problem is that modern life creates chronic, low-level stress that keeps many men stuck in sympathetic dominance. Work pressures, financial concerns, relationship tensions, even the constant stimulation of smartphones and news media, all of these activate the stress response. And for many men over 50, this becomes the default state. Cold stimulation of the vagus nerve at the back of your neck activates your parasympathetic system. It tells your body, you're safe, relax. Allow blood flow to non-essential systems like your penis. This is called vagal toning, and it's one of the most effective ways to shift your autonomic nervous system toward relaxation. Here's the technique. Sit or stand comfortably in a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Take the cold spoon from the freezer. Reach behind your neck and find the base of your skull, right where your neck meets your head. Feel along the center of your neck, moving upward until you find where the spine meets the skull. There's a bony bump there called the C7 vertebra, also known as the vertebra prominens. It's the most prominent vertebra in your neck, the one you can feel most easily. Just below that bump is where the vagus nerve is most accessible through the skin. Place the cold spoon directly on that spot. The round back of the spoon works well because it conforms to the curve of your neck. Hold it there for 30 seconds. Don't move it around, just steady, constant contact. You'll feel an intense cold sensation, maybe even a slight tingling down your spine. That's the vagus nerve responding. Some men describe it as a pleasant shiver that spreads through their body. Others feel a sudden sense of calm wash over them. These are all signs that the parasympathetic system is activating. Breathe slowly and deeply while you hold the spoon there. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds, hold for 2 seconds, exhale through your mouth for 6 seconds. This breathing pattern amplifies the parasympathetic activation. Deep, slow breathing is itself a vagal stimulant, so you're combining two techniques for enhanced effect. After 30 seconds, remove the spoon. You might feel a wave of relaxation wash over you. Your shoulders might drop. Your jaw might unclench. That's your nervous system shifting gears from sympathetic to parasympathetic dominance. Do this once a day, ideally in the evening before bed or 20 to 30 minutes before intimacy. It's especially effective if you struggle with performance anxiety or stress-related erectile issues. Many of my patients who've had difficulty with erections due to anxiety have found this technique transformative. It gives them a tool to consciously shift their nervous system into the state required for sexual function. This is the simplest of the three, but it's incredibly effective for men who sit for long periods during the day. And in our modern world, that's most men. Whether you're working at a desk, driving a car, watching television, or simply eating meals, you're probably sitting for 8 to 12 hours every day. Take a standard kitchen towel, one of those thicker, absorbent ones, and roll it up tightly into a cylinder. You want it firm enough to provide support, but not so thick that it's uncomfortable. The diameter should be roughly 2 to 3 inches. If your towel is too thin, you can fold it in half before rolling. Here's the problem most men over 50 face. Sitting compresses your lower back and pelvis. Your lumbar curve flattens. Your sacrum, the triangular bone at the base of your spine, tilts backward. This is called posterior pelvic tilt, and it's epidemic among men who sit frequently. This posture compresses the nerves that control erections, specifically the S2, S3, and S4 sacral nerves. These nerves emerge from the sacrum and travel to the pelvic organs, including the penis. They carry the signals that tell your erectile tissue to relax and fill with blood. They're absolutely essential for normal erectile function. When these nerves are compressed for hours every day, your body's ability to send strong erectile signals weakens. You might get aroused mentally, but the physical response is delayed or weak because the nerve pathways are partially blocked. It's like trying to water your garden with a kinked hose. The water is there, but it can't flow freely. I've seen this pattern countless times in my practice. Men who sit at desks all day, men who drive for a living, men who spend their evenings in recliners watching television. They come to me with erectile difficulties, and when we investigate their lifestyle, the common factor is prolonged sitting with poor posture. A rolled towel under your lower back maintains your lumbar curve and prevents sacral compression. It keeps those nerve pathways open. It's not a cure for erectile dysfunction, but for many men, it removes an obstacle that's been silently undermining their function for years. Here's how to use it. Sit in your kitchen chair, the one you use for breakfast, for working on your laptop, for reading the newspaper. Place the rolled towel horizontally across the back of the chair, right at the level of your lower back, about where your belt sits when you're standing. Now sit back against the chair. The towel should press gently into your lower back, supporting your lumbar curve. Your pelvis should tilt slightly forward, not exaggerated, just a natural curve. You should feel your lower back arch slightly away from the chair back, supported by the towel. Sit like this for at least 5 minutes. If you're drinking your morning coffee or eating breakfast, this is the perfect time. You're not adding anything to your routine. You're just modifying how you sit during activities you already do. If you work from home, keep the towel in your chair all day. Replace it whenever you sit down. Make it automatic. Some of my patients have bought multiple towels, so they always have one wherever they sit. Office chair, dining chair, car seat, recliner. What you're doing is decompressing your sacral nerves. You're allowing blood flow and nerve signals to move freely between your spine and your pelvis. You're undoing hours of damage that accumulates each day from poor sitting posture. Over time, this improves your body's ability to achieve and maintain erections. Most men notice that after a week of using the towel daily, their erections feel more responsive. Less delay between arousal and physical hardness. The signals travel faster because the pathway is clear. Now you have 3 techniques targeting 3 different systems. The frozen water bottle improves circulation through cold therapy and reflexology. The cold spoon activates your parasympathetic nervous system through vagal stimulation. The rolled towel decompresses your sacral nerves through postural support. Here's how I recommend combining them for maximum effect. Start your morning with the frozen water bottle technique. 2 minutes while you're having your first coffee. This sets up improved circulation for the entire day. Use the rolled towel whenever you sit for extended periods. Make it part of your default sitting posture. This prevents nerve compression from accumulating throughout the day. Use the cold spoon technique in the evening, either as part of your wind-down routine before bed or 20 to 30 minutes before anticipated intimacy. This shifts your nervous system into the relaxed state needed for optimal sexual function. Total time investment, about 8 minutes spread throughout the day. No equipment to buy, no complicated protocols to remember. Just 3 simple techniques using objects you already own. The results build over time. Most men notice improvements within the first week. Better morning erections, faster response to arousal, firmer, more reliable hardness. By the end of the first month, many men report that their erectile function feels years younger. I'm Dr. Elena. You don't need a pharmacy, you need a kitchen. 3 objects and 8 minutes a day. That's the formula. These techniques have helped thousands of men restore function that they thought was lost forever. They can help you too. If this video was helpful, hit the like button so more men can find this information. Subscribe for more practical, no-nonsense techniques you can use at home. And share this with any man you know who might be struggling silently. Most men never talk about these issues, but they're dealing with them nonetheless. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves, gentlemen, and I'll see you in the next one. Remove these words.